We have a source connected to the transmitting antenna and then the receiving antenna, detector, and finally to the VSWR meter. So now we are assuming that they are in the far field, they are in the line of sight. Then apart from that, another adjustment what we have to do is we have to check whether they are operating in the resonant frequency or not. So how do I identify? So here this meter is showing some reading based on some value. So now what I should do is I should see that I get initially a maximum value. So in order to do that, what you do is you rotate the frequency knob and try to see whether that frequency whatever you have set is resulting for the resonant frequency or not. So what we do is we can just rotate it slowly. So it is decreasing. It is decreasing. So when you are increasing this side, right, it is decreasing. So resonant frequency is before that. So just I can go back. So you can see that. So 2.35. Still you can just. So now so you can see that after again 2.35 again it is reduced. Sorry, 2.4 it is reduced. So your resonant frequency is somewhere between 2.35 and 2.4. So just try to increase and see where maximum holds around. So still it is increasing. So we can see that at 2.40 we have a maximum value. So for this dipole, right, 2.4 gigahertz is the resonant frequency. Why resonant frequency? Because maximum output will be obtained at resonant frequency. So for that purpose we are doing this. So initialize to resonant frequency. So now so they are in line of sight, and what I will do is I will assume that this is in 0 degrees. So they are in line of sight 0 degrees with respect to each other, facing each other. So for in the tabular column what we can do is we can move in two directions, that is clockwise direction and anti-clockwise direction. So what I can do is I can move in stepwise of 1 degree, 10 degree, 5 degree, it's left up to you. So what we will do is we can see at 5 degrees what is the change happening. So now here remember this is at 60. So what it implies is this value dB scale, since I will be using the dB value and it is in normal mode, it is minus 60, and as I move this side it will be minus 70. So minus 60 to 70. So now if I rotate this, what happens is it goes out of range. So that's why we have to be getting it back into the range. So now here for 0 degrees I have some approximate value of minus 60, minus 63. So based on the reading it is around minus 63 for 0 degrees. So I will move in the clockwise direction by 5 degrees. So we have the measurement over here. So 5 degrees you keep on moving. So when I move 5 degrees, so okay. So previously it was minus 63. Now it is slightly reduced. For 5 degrees it is slightly less. So it is minus 63.8 approximately. So for 5 degrees in the clockwise direction. So similarly another 5 degrees. So it is minus 64. Minus 64. So another 5 degrees. So another 5 degrees. It is still less than minus 64. So in this way you can take down the readings up to some levels, say up to minus 40, 50 if it comes. You can just take down those readings. In the similar way again go back to 0. For 0 it will be the same minus 63 and start off with the anti-clockwise direction. So 5 degrees what is the value? 10 degrees, 15, 20. So in this way you will be getting some 10-15 readings for the 5 for the 5 direction, H5. We will be getting for the H5. Now what about like this? That is I want to move this antenna like this. So but I don't have that setup. In this case I don't have that setup. So what I do is one simple trick, you change the plane itself. So how do you change the plane? So what you do is you take this antenna and you place it like this. One antenna is placed in this form, another antenna cannot be like this. So when this is there, power will not be received, it will be very less. So what you do is, since I want to place the antenna, say both the dipole antennas are there, I want to move it like this, but it is not possible. So this has to move up and down. So I do like this and move it. So it is similar to moving in the elevation. So what you do is you place it. Sorry, you place it in the other direction. Okay. So now both the antennas are placed in line of sight. They are placed in line of sight. Now what you do is again the same way, clockwise, anti-clockwise, same 0 degrees. What is the value? Okay. So for 0 degrees you are getting around say minus 65 point or minus 66 somewhere you are getting over here. So for next 5 degrees, what is the value? So it is still almost same over there. Then minus 10, how much it is? So it will keep on reducing. So this is what is happening. So in 5 degrees you note it down. Next in anti-clockwise direction also you note it down. So this is for radiation pattern measurement. So what you got two readings, one for phi plane and this is for theta plane. So both the readings will be separate. So you have to take a plot and then plot phi plane separately and h plane, the theta plane separately, theta value. So these are the two things. Now next there is another one thing to measure gain. So in order to measure gain, there are some parameters to be considered. So those in tabular column will just look out. But how the measurement is done, that will look out. So what we will do is, I will place it in phi plane, because in theta plane what was happening is the reading was very less. So it was minus 66 or like this. Whereas in the other this thing it was minus 65 or 63. So now what I do is, I'll take a scale and say measure the distance from this point to this point, from this antenna end point to from this antenna end point. So I'll measure that distance. For this distance, what is the value? Then after that, what I'll do is I'll move it say approximately 5 centimeters this side. So 5 centimeters ahead. So for that distance, what is the value? So in this way, I'll be taking around 3-4 readings. And after that, I'll be utilizing that value and I'll be calculating one mean value, and from that I'll be going ahead with estimation of gain. So this is how it goes on.